battle scene back in the building. A Blood and a Crip went up against two Christians.
Okay.
We've been talking about a certain league.
Is that a bar?
That wasn't intended to be a bar.
Okay. I thought that might have been a bar. Okay. Let's go.
I'm just saying. And the battle goes down on King of the Dot. B. Dot, Geechee Gotti, A. Ward, Loso. This is a good one, Stro. I would give it a 7.8. Still a really good battle. I think overall, there were a lot of things that came out in this battle that can reflect on the battle rap, kind of beams out on the whole culture. You know, the Christian battle rappers, you know.
Well, can we pause for the cause, please? Can we get a distinction on this battle? What is this? Where are we at on this? Is this a classic? Is this a certified classic? Because
no, this is bars on deck.
Wow. What rounds aren't classic rounds to you?
Maybe round 3. Yep. This isn't an A-game award. It's not. It's not. I mean, if you really look at it, in my opinion, man, like, I have seen better awards than in this battle. By the third round, Award's basically begging to be or justifying why he is one of the top MCs in the battle rap culture. And it's like, that's not where it's at. That's not where it's at, man. You are
he is fire. I mean, let's not get it twisted. That claim might not be that far off, period. Because No,
I agree, but I'm just saying, like, he even said it, like, now we get to the third round and we've been off of what I normally do. We don't get the rebuttal game. We didn't get much of that.
We're on the third round and I haven't even really done my whole. Right.
That's correct. And then what ends up happening in this battle is it becomes like this collage of like Christian battle rappers that are, you know, being super aggressive, almost being a regular battle rapper, if that makes sense. So we got gun bars, we got all kinds of stuff coming from the Christians, all in the justification, I'm assuming when they wrote this, to beat Geechee Gotti and B. Dot. Now, in the third round, which is a clear win.
Let's distinguish that point. Justified by who they were rapping. Battling.
Yeah. Street guys that really know about it.
Okay, were these actual gun bars or were these imaginary gun bars?
I don't know, man. It was, you know, Loso had that one, you know, we always hold the nose before we baptize them, but it was in the middle of like.
I caught that.
You know what I mean? Like, it's some really great bars.
That's not a gun bar. That's a fact. What are you talking about?
But that's a double entendre.
Okay. It's a fact.
It is a fact, but the nose is not a double entendre if the nose doesn't become a gun.
What do they do with the nose?
What do you mean? The nose goes in your face.
No, what he say in the bar?
He's talking about when you pinch the nose and then you dunk the guy.
Bam! Exactly. You just told me what he was talking about. How's that a gun bar? If he's talking about baptizing somebody.
The nose of the gun. Come on, man. Come on.
That's not a gun bar, bro. What are we talking about? I'm trying to figure this out.
So you don't see where that's a double entendre. The reference of, you know, we always hold the nose.
Right.
You don't see that. You don't see the gun bar aspect to that.
No, because no, dude, like when you baptize, like if you don't hold your nose, water will go into it and into your lungs, and you feel like you're drowning. It's not the cutest thing to like gag and choke while being baptized. You're trying to like be in the moment and
Yeah,
feel
but that's the only reason he said that, because
like
it was inside of bars that were dealing with guns. I mean,
like
look the bar up.
like
And
what?
everyone caught it.
Like what was in conjunction with that related that to a gun bar? That made that a gun bar.
I mean, I'm not going to bar for bar recap it. B Dot talking about B Dot going in the third round, basically saying he called him out. Like you guys have exchanged gun bars for punch bars.
Okay, so
and
okay.
And then took them down the path to where it's just like you're basically exploiting God as an opportunity.
No.
Yeah, as an opportunity
No.
to get a lane in the battle rap culture.
No, see,
B Dot exposed that.
No, they're calling them out for not using gun bars, right? And then like using gun bars, right? So your argument is you sneaking them in there, and I've made this argument before, right? Like don't use gun bars and all that. And I still stick with that. Like you don't need them. That's why I say don't use them, because you don't need them. But to call them out about it only because they're Christian is not fair either. I mean, how many rounds from Emerson Kennedy have we caught that he literally says, I did that whole round with no gun bar stop? He literally does rounds, and there are MCs and rappers who do it with no gun bars, and they distinguish it by calling it out so they can all do it, right?
There are a lot of battle rappers that are Christians. I'm just going to assume that.
Oh, of course. Of course.
The four horsemen, you literally they wave the flag of we're Christian battle rappers.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. But then the standard raises higher for the viewer.
Right, which is why we're saying which is why I say, don't use gun bars, right? Because in a sense, I feel like it's like, I don't feel like it's cheating because you're still using gun bars, even though you're saying you're not. I feel like it's almost bragging, right? As in a sense, like when you give, change to a homeless man on the street, you supposed to do that and go about your business and your life, right? You don't go to your next location and say, "Yo, I gave the dude at the overpass $10, right?" Now you're kind of glorifying or bragging what you've done, right? So when you say, "Oh, I don't use gun bars, but I could," and check out this, and then you do like a fire gun bar, now you're kind of like bragging on what you should be humble about. That non-gun bar should come with the territory. It should be unspoken. What's understood and got to be explained. So all that I could do this and I don't, it's don't do that, because now it's taken away from the actual, character of a Christian battle rapper. But beyond that, you can't just call them out because they're Christian battle rappers. Go call out everybody who don't use gun bar. That's all I'm saying.
Well, what I'm saying is, in Christian, if you're going to be, the other way to look at this thing, ladies and gentlemen, is that if you want to be a Christian battle rapper, go in a Christian battle rap league and do that. You know what I mean? Because everybody has their different standards of Christianity.
No.
Everybody has their different standards. Some people go to Bible study every Wednesday. Some people go to church once every month. It's a standard. When you put it out there and say, I'm a Christian battle rapper, what I'm telling you is the average viewer is going to say, oh, wow, he's different. He should be doing things differently from the guys that may be Christians, but aren't saying they're Christians.
On what Christian battle league?
Well, maybe they need to get some. That's a religious question there.
No, it's not a religious question. That's an actual question.
There may be a Christian battle league somewhere. I don't know.
Okay, right, exactly. You ain't heard of it. So what kind of exposure are they going to have or provide in terms of what they're trying to bring to light to others? Like they're at the end of the day, if they are truly Christian, then their mission is to bring forth the word to people who ain't paying attention to the word. right? So
But
telling
right,
them, no, listen, hold up. They are Christian, right? Right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Jesus didn't sit around in the temple at 33. He did that as a kid. They found him, they left and found him in the temple. Man, where you been? Did you not know I'd be about my father's business? But after that, he was out and about. He was
That's true.
he was eating with tax collectors, sinners. And they asked him, what are you doing? What are you doing with these people? He came to save the lost. He didn't come to get the found. He didn't come to get people who didn't have issues. So to tell anybody who proclaims to be Christian that they need to stay in a Christian zone is going against what they inherently have been told to do, which is go forth into the unfound areas, into the places where people aren't, partaking in your choice of religion or your God or what you believe to be your salvation. You can't sit there and do it, and you can't battle people in church and expect them to bring somebody to God. They got to go out into the masses. They have to go out into the war zone, brave the storm. And that's why they can't be sitting around with some Christian battling Christian battle.
I mean, I feel that. I feel that. I mean, I can understand that angle, but again, I mean, I don't think you can get over the hump that if you're gonna come out, it's just like your first day at the
Why
job,
can't I get over what
and you start telling everybody that you're a Christian.
Get over
Guess what? The minute that you go out and get drunk with your coworkers, they're gonna be looking at you funny because you've been putting it out there like, I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian.
Okay, right.
And the Bible says don't get drunk.
Okay, have we found these guys? Give me an example of this. I'm like, show me street hymns at a battle event somewhere in Atlanta, drunk. Show me Loso throwing up on a table somewhere.
Well, it's not about that. I mean,
show me the Saga in the room with 2 male gigolos and meth. I'm not seeing any of that. I'm not seeing
I get that, but what you say, I mean,
they're not cursing in their rounds. They're not talking about, malicious or otherwise, bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're coming with clever bars every time, right? And they're actually just saying, yo, I'm Christian. There's nothing wrong with that. What's wrong?
I'm not saying no. I don't think it's a wrong or right issue.
Now, if they get up there and you talking about a straight Christian, right? And then you start rapping like Disaster or Arsenal or Disrespectful Danny Myers, that's a problem. That's a contradiction. But that's not what's happening.
If you're saying, I mean, all Disaster's just more aggressive and more upfront. He curses, but there's a lot of violence. There's a lot of violence.
Okay,
in Disaster's bars.
I'm talking about in terms. Oh, come on, bro. Disaster has said so many disrespectful things about people's mothers in his rounds. That's what I'm talking about. Not just like violent things. It's not just being violent that's unchristian. It's being disrespectful, not lack of humility. It's a whole. But I mean, it's a whole slew of things that they are abstaining from. Which they are. They are abstaining from a lot of elements that are used.
Well, I think they're getting on the thin line. I think they're getting on the thin line to where a Christian that does not look at battle rap, if you were just to play the audio, I think it's getting to that point like, are they sure? I think they're approaching that line. And I get that they have to keep up with battle rap and they have to stay competitive and they gotta, you know what I'm saying?
That's a good point. Now we'll say there are points where I've seen even A Ward where he's like basically, but what he's saying is like, look, I'm taught to turn the other cheek, right? But I'm not gonna let you pummel me to death. So in the correct situation, you might get hit with this right hook. Listen, guess what? I don't care how Christian anybody is. You come yanking up my child in front of me, guess what? God ain't through with me yet. You finna get hit with this right hook. And that's
facts.
probably the least of your worries. You know what I'm saying? So like that's an open and honest. Like if they were true, here's the flip side of it, right? The angelic, complete innocent, lack of sin, pure as snow version of a Christian is unbelievable. Nobody wants to hear from that guy because they know he's lying. Yes, he may hit you even though he's Christian. And he's just letting you know that under the right circumstances, it could happen. And that's honest.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing you can ask for is honesty.
I mean, that's what's up. That's what's up. I mean,
I'm just explaining it like that. That's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? And that's just true.
no, I feel that. I feel that. And so, I mean, give us comments. You know, this is basically, you know, battle scene reflecting on Christian battle rappers and saying, you know, how do you guys feel about that? You know,
hey, before we go, I want you to rate the 4 horsemen before we go.
You know what? I can't do it fairly because I really haven't seen street hymns like that.
Oh.
I would say that Loso, A-Ward, Saga,
Wow.
they're really solid. They are well above average battle rappers.
Yeah, bro.
I like what they bring to the table. I'm literally saying you guys are kind of getting at that thin line where it can kind of get blurred.
Why? I mean, like even this last battle, I mean, it was more of a comedic kind of like playing on them angle. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't a malicious attack. It was a way of, to me, it was an exploration in like how to win battle rap outside of blatant disrespect and explaining how I'm going to kill you, right? Like, you know, I thought that was powerful, man, because really that's where it's gonna go. Because it can never stay only this. It could never only stay in the lane that it's in, where it's like you gotta be one or the other. There is no gray, it's black or white. You know what I'm saying? You're either this or you're that. You're a killer or you're not. Which one? You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
I think they have a very pivotal role to play because, like you said, in actuality, A-Ward may very well be right. If we weren't talking about Geechee Gotti or Ill Will, we would be talking about A-Ward. That's a fact. If you need to go and look it up, like A-Ward was rolling through people.
Yeah.
I mean, completely. So, like, let's not get it twisted and act like he didn't kind of get like looked over. Not even like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, clearly, bro, that's some real talk. And then Loso's a very solid MC. Like I said, the Saga is probably the most well-rounded of all 4 of them to me. And Street Hymns is a hidden gem, man. He really he has to get his performance. He has to get his performance like tightened up. It's got to be immaculate. And then he will flow. But until he gets his performance on point, he's got a long way to go.
I mean, that's what's up. And I mean, and again, I mean, I will say, like, you know, you don't really have to, people will know you Christian. You don't even have to say anything. You know what I mean? So I think, again, lines are getting blurred because the whole God is good all the time. It puts you in a field where, like, okay, this dude is putting God on the front end of things. And so, again, the average viewer is going to be like, I'm looking for him to be different. And these gun bars and these punch bars blurs the lines. And I don't feel
I think to be fair, he distinguishes them before he says them. They're not just rolled into like a Mac Myers verse. Chop on the shoulder. You know what I'm saying? That's not how it's coming. And I also think that these guys are I liken them to missionaries. I liken them to missionaries, and their missionary field happens to be the arena of battle rap. And you cannot stay silent. You cannot not proclaim your God as a missionary among, the people you're trying to proclaim your God to. That's just my opinion.
That's what's up. That's what's up. We'll leave it right there on the table, man. All our fans, man, give us some feedback. Let us know, how do you guys feel about Christian battle rappers? Like, you feeling like, the gun bars, the violent bars? You feel like, are the lines getting blurred to where they're starting to almost look like regular battle rappers? Or are you feeling like they are being 100% Christian inside of the ring when they use gun bars, punch bars? Hit us up in the comments. It's Battle Scene, talking a little Christian battle rap.